Hello and welcome to my tarot corner. So lately it looks as if people are trying to damage William's image. Today I saw an article of a friend saying that he is self-righteous and how did he say that? Self-serving bastard, something like that. And this is a friend saying, okay, so with friends like these you don't need enemies. But there are other things that I believe that are done more subtly, and it comes more in a way of the Sussexes trying to empower themselves or to change their own image on the back of Prince William. And I believe it's all connected with the Earthshot prize that is coming up, and I believe that Harry and William are quite scared that the Earthshot prize will overshadow their own Ripple of Hope award that they are supposed to receive, which they are getting for no real reason. Even the grandson of Robert Kennedy, whose name is connected with this foundation, doesn't understand why they get this award. What have they done? And then today there was this TMZ documentary that is glorifying the Sussexes, saying how and portrays the royal family and Britain in a very bad light. So it seems like you cannot say the Sussexes praises without mentioning the bad treatment that they received. And this says a lot about people, that when they have nothing good to say about themselves, they always use the abuse that they received or their problems in the past in order to glorify themselves. It's like, why does Harry keep using his mother's name? Why does he keep on using her death as if he is still the 12-year-old that just lost her? And how dare he compare himself to children of military personnel that gave their lives to their country, and that's all over the world. So this is really this is like using the negative way of trying to show your good attributes by showing others bad attributes. So I feel that it's all part of trying to hinder Prince William and to find a way to get the Earthshot prize in damaged or not as popular as it is going to be, because this is not a ceremony that people pay $1 million in order to get in. This is an invitation only ceremony. This is something that is prestigious and people will fight to go to it. And I can assure you that if it is going to be in the same date as the Ripple of Hope award, not many people will be at that stadium, or the one that will be the ones that can only afford the money but not really important enough to be in the Earthshot prize. So I'm using the ANIMA MUNDI tarot. That is a Japanese deck. It is a peep deck. Usually, I said many times, I have many peep decks, but I don't like using them because I still like the illustrated minor arcanas more than but this one is a very serene animal deck, very beautiful, very peaceful. I feel that it's good to use it in order to find a way of how can Prince William fight those haters that are trying to damage his name. So let's start by my disclaimer. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. So just a few moments to clear the deck. Okay, so let's start with asking. So who are the people that are trying to hurt Prince William? Why are they affecting him, and what can he do to fight them? Who are the haters that are trying to damage Prince William? Why does it affect him, and how can he fight it? How can he fight the haters that are trying to damage his image? So the first card will tell us why he is affected. Not why they do that, because we all know why, but why does it affect William? And let's see what I'm getting. And the card that I'm getting is the Queen of Cups. Okay, so the Queen of Cups is, first of all, a water sign queen. This is the Scorpio, and although Prince William is a Cancer, but it is still a water sign queen, and it goes very well with him being a water sign. Now, the Queen of Cups is the adventurous queen, someone who will go to length in order to achieve things that she wants, someone who wants to change things. So for William, this is about the things that he's trying to achieve. He's trying to change things. He's trying to create change in face of stability. He's trying to destroy things that are not good in the world in order to create better things. And he's not afraid. He's not afraid of breaking conventions. So this card is telling us that it affects him because it affects the way that the things that he wants to achieve. And it's more important to him that the things that he wants to achieve will get center stage than his own image and his own the way that people see him as a person. And that is why it's telling the world that he's self-righteous and petulant and someone who is not really caring. This is really a very wrong way to describe Prince William, because this is exactly the opposite of who he is. But let's just say one thing. The Queen of Cups can be very resenting and vengeful. And this is probably the part of his character that is being placed into judgment. And the fact that Prince William is not willing to pardon his brother for the way that he acted. He's not willing to let his father pardon his brother. So in a way, Prince William is the one that held King Charles even before he became king at place, and not getting the Sussexes back, because there was a time when King Charles was willing to take them back, even with the wife. And the one that is there very resentful and very vengeful in that aspect is Prince William. And this makes him vulnerable. And this is why all of that criticism is hurting him. So this is something that I've said about King Charles, that he needs to be very, very careful not to be vengeful, not to punish the Sussexes. This is something this is threading on, let's say, a very thin line in order to not cross it and to keep the boundaries and not to be seen as vengeful. So this is one thing that Prince William needs to be very careful, because this is the one thing that can hurt his plans. So he really doesn't care about his own image. He cares about the image of the Earthshot Prize, the image of his is all of his projects, all of the things that he is dealing with, or all of the things that he's trying to push forward. These are the things that he cares about. And he needs to be very careful not to let his own resentment and his own anger to cloud his judgment in a way that it might hinder him. So this is why it's affecting him. Now the next card is, what does he really need to see? What kind of truth does he need to see about the people that are trying to hurt him? And what I'm getting here is the Eight of Wands. So first of all, the Eight of Wands is a card of communication, and usually it is about electronic communication. Most of the articles, or most of the things that came out in order to try and to hurt William were via electronic communication. Now, we need to look at the negative aspects of this card, because we're looking at those truths that that Prince William is unable to see, and he needs to see in the people that hate him. And this card, which is usually a card of being very fast and doing the right thing at the right place, has a negative aspect. And the negative aspect is acting too fast and making mistakes by doing that, being very reckless and unable to cope with pressure. Now, these things are true about the people that are trying to hurt William. They are doing things too fast, and because of that, it's very obvious what they're trying to do. They're not able to be subtle. They are not in the right place at the right time, and because of that, they are making mistakes. They are very reckless, and they are being very, let's say, in danger of feeling his wrath, feeling his anger, feeling his resentment, and being avenged because of that. So this card shows that they are acting too fast. They are doing things without thinking. They are using electronic communication and trying to influence the public opinion by getting to as many avenues of electronic communication that they can, but they are making mistakes. And Prince William needs to think about how he can harness those mistakes to his favor and not let his anger control him. Okay, so that is the second card. And the third card is, how can Prince William, let's say, reconnect with his own feelings, with his own heart, and just not pay attention to what those haters are trying to do to him? And what we're getting here is the Hanged Man. So it's all about changing point of view. It's all about changing the way that he sees things. Once again, this is a card that is telling Prince William, be very careful not to be the stingy spider. Be very careful to be the spider that is only waving the web to maybe try and trap those people in a way that is not showing that he's the one who waved that web of spider web. So the Hanged Man is a card of changing perspective and changing point of view. and changing the way that he sees those people, changing the way that the people are seeing him, and not the haters, but how we see him. This is what they're trying to achieve. But he needs to be very careful on how he handles them. This is because of this card, because it's a spider, shows me that it's all about creating the right web and trapping them in their most vulnerable places. But for that, Prince William needs to really see things in a different way. Once again, not being just, but being, not being just, but being right. So not doing the just thing, but doing the right thing. This is what he needs to do. He needs to be the one who is in the right place at the right time. He needs to be the one who acts swiftly and in a way be very patient also, because the spider is a patient creature. He creates his web, he's waiting for them to be caught in the web. So this is about being patient as well. So, but the main thing here is changing perspective, changing the way he sees things, and especially not letting his anger control him. So all of these cards are just connecting very well. Okay, the next card is, okay, how can Prince William reclaim his power? And what I'm getting here is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is the idealistic queen. So he needs to pull on and go on with his mantra of trying to save the world, trying to being very idealistic, trying to solve problems that are connected with Earth, with climate change, with all of the problems of pollution, all of those things. This is what the Queen of Swords is all about. This is the queen who is really very caring about ideals, about things that are important in the world. This is the queen who is even sacrificing relationships for that. This is someone who's very dedicated to work, and it also someone who is good with technologies. So this card is telling why do I say Prince William, that first of all, he needs to stick to his ideals. The second thing that he needs to do is be very hands-on on the technology and how to harness that technology to his own favor. So this card is telling him that as long as he's true to his own ideals, is true to the way that he sees, the way that he wants the world to be, he can harness that, all of that energy for his future and for his to back him on. So these things are very important, and he needs to know how to do that without seeming vengeful, without being angry, and to be very patient on one side, but to act quickly on the other side. So that's what the Queen of Swords means. And the next card is, how can Prince William let go and move on? And what I'm getting here is the Devil. And the Devil represents everything that is bad, okay? But here we got it in how can Prince William move on. So we can see this card in two ways. One way is recognize that this is the devil's energy. This is what they are using in order to try and hurt him. They are using everything that is bad. But this is also a warning card for William, not to submit to his urges to get out and protect himself in a way that is showing his anger, not to expose his frustrations, to be very careful to be the king of the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups together. So on one side, to be very idealistic and to protect his ideas. On the other side, to push for change and to find a way to change things, even if you destroy things that happened before, but to be very careful not to be the devil, not to be vengeful, not to be someone who punishes. And the devil speaks also of addictions and speaks about being carried away and losing control. This is one thing that it is part of the enemy that Prince William has to fight. These are people that are fighting for their own control. It goes very well with my previous reading. They need control and they're fighting for their control, and because of that they are doing whatever they can, and even if it means being completely going dark, even if it means addictions to all sorts of things, even if it means using all sorts of nefarious ways in order to try and get their way. So William needs to fight the devil with the light, not with the devil. He needs to be very careful not to go to their level. This is what this card is all about. It shows us the enemy in his, without clothes, in his nudity, and it shows us the enemy as he really is, and it shows us that what Prince William needs to be very careful about is not to act like them, because it's very easy to be carried away with anger. So he has a few warning cards here that are telling him not to get carried away. The Queen of Cups and the Hanged Man and the Devil, all three cards are telling William to be very careful, not to get carried away, not to show his anger, not to start being vengeful and resentful, but to be very, very concerned and focused on his own agenda, on the things that he wants to achieve. רגע, את רוצה לצאת? Okay. Rosie wants to go out. So let her go out. So these two cards are most important here because both of these cards are telling William what he should do and how he should act. First, be very focused on his goals, on what he wants to achieve, on his ideals, and then change his point of view, his perspective. Be very patient and just create that web and wait for them to get stuck in it, because that will happen, because they cannot resist that. The devil is a card that shows us that they will get trapped in that trap because they will be confined, they will get shackled, they will be in that blockage, so they won't be able to get out of this. And as long as he's building that very patiently and in a very, very meticulous way, he can get into fighting them in their own weapon without becoming the devil. Okay, so this is the tarot, and the oracle is Earthly Soul and Spirit Oracle. Another beautiful earthy deck. So let's see, what kind of advice does the oracle have for William? Clearing the deck. Advice for William on how to deal with haters that are trying to change his So advice for helping William to change his image in a good way, and to fight those who are trying to change his image into a darker one. What can William do? Advice for William. Okay, so the card that I'm getting is Inspire. So this card comes with some kind of an owl, and we already got an owl with the Queen of Swords. So both of those cards go very well together, because both of them are cards that are cards of advice for William on how to act. And the Inspire card is telling us, wait a minute. Okay, so be fearless, be motivated, and motivate other, and use your electrifying energy, and just use that in order to get people to see what kind of an electrifying person you can be. You are interesting, you have that charisma, and just use it to your own benefit. So this is the advice for William, and I hope you liked it. And if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.